Thank you very much for this opportunity to present our work. I belong to the same research group as the previous speaker, Kevin, and I have no disclosures. So within our research group, the e-continence group, we have previously developed a mobile app called Pfmt, and we have evaluated this in a previous randomized controlled trial and found it to be effective for the self-management of stress urinary continence among women. But the aim of this present study was to understand more about the use of this app among pregnant and postnatal women, since they were not included in our randomized controlled trial. And the app, as you know by now, includes information about incontinence, the pelvic floor, lifestyle advice, and pelvic floor muscle training exercises in different levels, functions for statistics and reminders. And this app is freely available in several languages. And to try to see what happens with the use after this randomized controlled trial, we follow the use of the app, and we do this by including a short questionnaire that appears upon downloading the app. And there are questions about some baseline characteristics of the user and also the ISIC-UISF questionnaire. It's optional to answer the questionnaire, but if a person answers, the answers are sent automatically and anonymously to our research database, so we can have some observational cohort data. So here we found that 10,456 pregnant and postnatal women downloaded this app and answered the questionnaire during our 10-month inclusion period. And this corresponds to 41% of all the respondents to the questionnaire during the same time period. And 44% were pregnant and 56% were postnatal. And postnatal here includes the time up till 3 months after delivery. And in this group of pregnant and postnatal women, 51% experienced urinary incontinence. And here we defined incontinence as those who answered yes to a question that they had some urinary leakage and also specified the amount of leakage. Here are some more baseline characteristics of those who downloaded the app. The mean age was 31 years. As you can see, they had a high educational level. The vast majority lived in Sweden. And of those with incontinence, the ISIC-UISF mean score was 6.67. So, in conclusion, we found that a large proportion of those who answered the questionnaire within the app were indeed pregnant and postnatal women. And in this group, 51% experienced incontinence and are assumed to use the app for treatment, and the rest presumably for prevention of urinary incontinence. And the app seems widely used in Sweden since this study population corresponds to approximately 1/10 of all pregnant and postnatal women in Sweden during the same time period. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Questions?
Thank you for your presentation. I'm astonished by the 73% of university education.
Yes.
Has that influence on your results for using an app in the general population? Apparently in Sweden, everybody has a university education.
No, this is much the same as in our previous randomized controlled trial. There was also a high educational level, so we know that they are interested in apps. And if you should compare to the normal female population in the childbearing age, that would be like maybe 50% who had this kind of educational level. So it is quite high in Sweden, but not this high.
Because I can imagine it's a free app, and people that are well educated, they are going to search for it. But what we see in general, and that is speculative, is that people with lower education, that they are not having that much of treatment or not seeking that much of treatment. So how to improve that? Have you any idea or speculate on that?
Yes, we are. We know, for example, that this app is, as we can see, it's often recommended within prenatal care and so on. So maybe there we can have some understanding in if we collaborate with them more and understand who uses them. And we also have a project ongoing where we will try to have focus group discussions with not so highly educated women to ask what they think about the app and what are the barriers for searching apps and so on.
Can I have one more question? Yeah. So 51% of urinary incontinence. Have you any idea how many of them really were bothered by the urinary incontinence? Because in a study that we do in the Netherlands, many of the peripartum, also a huge prevalence and incidence of urinary incontinence, but most of them are not bothered. So that's also what the obstetricians say.
No, we can't know that. The only thing we have is that we have the ICQI short form questionnaire. So there are some more questions there, not only if they have incontinence also, but no, we don't really have how bothersome is this. No.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.